have some idea you want to bring up, or some new partnership, AMA, you can read through those Notion pages. Can help you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's no
Also, Fims, you can just drop it in the chat, like DAOLationships General. Definitely, someone will like respond to that. And I mean, I think one of the ideas behind DAOLationships is also just to facilitate these kind of collaborations, and a lot of these happen async, and you'll find like people coming in with their proposals and ideas and just dropping them in here. So that also might be a way for you to propose something like that.
Yeah, essentially, the guild's here to help you build relationships with other organizations as much as possible. And, the first thing is just like, is their mission and vision, values alignment between that organization and Bankless DAO? And if you need help confirming that, we can help confirm that. But as long as there's, an alignment, and it's good for DAO members and good for their organization, then we just help you figure out how to get the event done. You need somebody that can do the hosting. You need somebody that can maybe do the AV. You might need an extra person for some reason. We do have some guild processes that we're kind of testing, as far as like getting information on a calendar. We have some time slots that are, with the demos that are first come, first serve. But if you're hosting it at a time, or, that's not already, as long as it's not during the DAO community calls, you basically have, whatever, time slot you need. And we can help with marketing. The AMAs since they pay for them, do have marketing plans, kind of in place for that. If it's not an AMA, then we develop that marketing campaigns kind of ourselves based on, how we know how to interact with the DAO. And then, soon, hopefully we'll have a Juicebox campaign for the guild. And, if folks that are doing demos or these other events or services, if they're not paying for them, we want to at least give them a way to donate to the guild, so that the people, involved in the events gets a little extra compensation other than just coordinate, especially while we're developing most of these work streams, And one of the things that happens, so if you're representing and working, if you're representing another organization, we want to get you a DAOplomat tag. And, if people from that organization are coming into the DAO, we want to get them a DAOplomat tag. The DAOplomat tag acts as a guest pass without losing the guest pass and having to refresh it. So the first, kind of technical step with creating these relationships, is onboarding those, couple people from that other organization, getting them the DAOplomat tag, making sure that they go through the guest pass information, so that they're aware of it. If they want to contribute, if they want to participate in the DAO coordinates, they need to maintain their guest pass. But, some relationships are just so slow that the DAOplomat may only be in here like once a month, so we don't want them having to go through the guest pass process. We want them to be able to, come directly into the DAOLationships Guild and be able to participate and, build a relationship. So that's like, there's a couple technical things that we like to make sure as we're starting these relationships, but I think you'd be a great benefit being, how active you are in the DAO ecosystem in general. And, one of our biggest needs is, AV skills, hosting, being a voice and face for Bankless, and yep.
Sure. Yeah, so definitely welcome, Themes. It would be great to see you around here more. I got a couple things that I just wanted to surface before we start with this demo. I saw Adam joined, so hopefully he'll be back soon. Two things. One, Innovator had talked about the DAOplat's role, and then I had another DM from Paul. Paul, you all know him. Paul. I got a couple things that I just wanted to surface. So essentially, if we can create a table to manage the DAOplat role tags, it may help us with people who could possibly be abusing roles, because it's easy to assign somebody the DAOplat tag, and then they've got indefinite access to our server. I know they can't participate in coordinate rounds without either a guest pass or a level tag, but they can sort of come in and access pretty much everything. So if we can create a table that goes alongside every time we apply the DAOplat tag, the person also then gets added to the table. That would be ideal. I'm going to speak with Nonsense twice and see if he can implement something for Mad Hatter. So maybe we could do like apply DAOplat role tag, and then it automatically gets applied to a Notion table. Not sure if that's possible, but that's something we are going to start exploring. The other thing was Jinga Jojo had discussed the ETH global events.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Hey Adam, yeah, we can hear you. We'll be right with you. Just tidying up one last item of business, and then we'll crack on with that demo. So that final thing was ETH global events. We've been going and trying to get people to sign up through the barcodes that we've created. But what we really want to do is bring revenue into the DAO. So we would like to incentivize DAOlationships members to go through those signups and then try and monetize those. So just two things to be looking out for. So without further ado, I would like to thank everybody for showing up, and thank Adam K from Ahoy Connect for showing up. And we are going to be streaming this to YouTube. So as soon as we get the go-ahead, I'll give you the proper introduction. Ernest or Salman, are we ready to go with that?
We are ready to go.
Yeah, I'm sorry for putting in. I have a little question for an actual guy. I don't know. You just mentioned that there are some things who need AV Guild skills, and they're trying to know what AV can be of support. So I'm thinking more like a spider work in the relationship for AV Guild. So I don't know if you can maybe help me post it on here so we don't go ahead with this talk right now. Maybe we'll schedule for another time. What exact thing we are looking out for AV Guild's help here in the relationship? If anyone can hear me.
You were breaking up pretty bad there, Thompson. I could hear you, but I couldn't quite make you out.
YouTube seems to be live on Ernest's channel. So we can get started.
Okay. Noisy Thompson, feel free to hit one of us up async or post in the channel, and we can follow that up. So, without further ado, I would like to again thank Adam K from Ahoy Connect for showing up. He got in touch recently with their project idea, and he wanted to show us how it works. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Adam. Feel free to stream your screen, share your screen, and show us how it works. Adam K, can you hear me?
Yep. I'll just make sure. Perfect. You guys can all see my screen, I presume.
Just loading up now. Yep. Can see your screen, Adam. Go for it. Adam, not sure if you're talking, but if you are, you're muted. Did anyone else hear Adam?
Nope.
I don't hear him either.
Let's see. You guys can hear me now?
Yes, we
I'll
gotcha.
just wait to see when it catches up.
Yeah, can you hear us? I can hear you. Can you hear us? Either we've got some really bad lag going on, or maybe you've got
Okay.
some connection issues. Can you hear me, Adam?
Sorry about that. I'm a bit of a boomer when it comes to Discord.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, this would be the main dashboard of Ahoy. So from here, you can see across your Discord and let's say your Twitter, all the activities that are happening. Yeah. Yeah, no, I can hear. Let me see. Sorry. Huh. Is it opening the YouTube? It's causing it. I think what I'll do is I'll just close this, give you guys the demo and see how we go. So pretty much this would be your main, and we can see the highlights for the last 30 days. So who has been chatting? Let's see the main posts that we might have missed. And then we can see sort of our top contributors. How we would approach top contributors as opposed to other tools would show our integrations here. And let's say for Discord exactly, you can start seeing, okay, so if someone posts in the education channel, we can start scoring them higher than, let's say, someone who posts GM. And we can start to separate the sort of high value contributions from users. So you can do this across any channel and you can sort of add in reactions, are they thread replies? So it just depends on what kind of value each action is. And you would know your community better than me, obviously. So this is sort of your choice to be like, this activity in this channel, well, this would be 6 points. And from then we sort of get into thresholds. So here in start a set, am I not engaged if I'm just posting GMGN, say my points don't reach this threshold, I would be a not active member. Whereas an ambassador might be the one posting tweets, mentioning, and then in the Discord helping out other users. Sorry. So then we could also do the same for Twitter in terms of mentions, retweets, likes. From here, we can go to the member view. And where I sort of see the member view is, obviously in the Web3 space, you have the anonymous nature of it is people want to keep their identity hidden, and that's fair. In terms of, so you would just be able to see, let's say, this could be NF Thinker on Discord. We can sort of start seeing his actions just on Discord. Or if you'd like, we can start to duplicate resolute. This is just based on probabilistic matching to say, oh, his username and this Twitter name sort of matches, or we can do it based on sort of profile picture. Understand that that's not a feature that might be interesting, just on the basis that, of course, you know, anonymous nature of itself is sort of important. And in terms of when we can view, so we would see the activity status of this person across these integrations. And let's see, we can start tagging users. So for the DAOLationships crew, you can have this tags, let's say the DAOLationship crew. And from there, we can sort of start segmenting those actions of each individual role. So we can say, and let's say we want to go into the tag he has and say it contains DAOlation. Let's use a Ahoy product name for this. And then we can start to see, is this member active on Discord? What activity zone are they in? Let me see, sorry, I think I figured out what the issue was after all. And yep, of course I have it unmuted. Apologies for that. We start going through, so if we go to Slack potential ambassadors for us, since this is our company data, we can start seeing, so Alexander is contributing enough within our Slack channel that he could be a potential ambassador for us if we want. And you set the criteria for sort of what active means. So it could be this person is like liking a bunch of tweets, they're mentioning us in their content. And we can filter by follower count if you choose to like match the IDs against Discord and Twitter, but obviously that's a sort of optional thing you can do. That's no worries. In terms of events, we can start tracking the impact they have in the space. So we can sort of see, okay, so this event drove this many activities in our community. And we can start matching out, like, say we run an education event every month. Is it bringing in new members? Are those members participating? And we can separate normal activities within the Discord as opposed to event-driven activities. And we can also deep dive into like specific ones, see who registered, who like maybe asked a question during it. And then after that, we would get to, insights. So here is like, now I'm not sure if you guys use Discord insights, the server insights for the moment, but this would be, and this is all real time as opposed to, I know, Discord server insights. Sometimes you're getting the data 2 weeks late and it's of no use. So we would be able to like show you in real time, how are the activities in my community? Are they growing? Are we dipping during certain periods? And we can filter this by sort of over the past few days. What was it like in the last 7 days? And we can view activity rate across different integrations. So if I just want to see Discord versus Twitter, I can do that. And then obviously it's the same for events and for member growth. If you're running any sort of community initiatives to get more people within the community, you want to be able to see, okay, so I brought in this many members this month. But in terms of activities, like how can I match that against the activities that happen in my Discord? Am I bringing in new members that are actually actively contributing to the Discord server? Or maybe, let's say there's potential ambassadors, you can then filter them out. So say we want to see the activity rate of our ambassadors from a certain guild. We can start mapping that out. In general, we obviously integrate with sort of GitHub, Discord, Twitter. You do Telegram and Discourse. In terms of, I hope I've given you a decent enough view into what Ahoy is. And if there's any questions, we would love to take them.
So Ahoy Connect, it tracks data from Twitter as well, right? I would like to know, you also track like popular keywords within the DAO space? Let's say if you wanted to like for the sake of marketing, if you want to create a DAO related keyword Bible, if you will, could you use Ahoy Connect to discover like how many tweets are being made for a specific keyword, like DAO governance?
Yeah. So we could do that, but typically we could only find it through the people that follow you actively. We're working on at the moment, and I think it's roughly 3 to 4 weeks away, the idea of content. So obviously your Discord is larger than most. Conversations are happening everywhere.
Yeah.
So eventually some ideas do get lost in the mist. So we're thinking of doing this way, in where, let's say I want to tag everyone who talks about a certain topic. I can tag that keyword and we can see over, let's say, the course of 7 days, what are people talking about? The system itself will suggest keywords. Maybe it notices a trend of 100 people are talking about this. So we may need to do events around this. We need to curate the content in this direction. But it's just another way. And it's the least sort of overbearing intrusion. It's just picking up the keywords and being like, okay, people are chatting about this. We might want to do something around that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And then, so basically, Ahoy Connect, it tracks the data that's going on within your community specifically, right?
Yeah, so it's not like a social listening tool, whereas you'll get competitor info. It's more strictly focused on what's happening in your connected integrations.
Okay, that's nice. It's interesting.
Also,
And
sorry.
Do you ever intend to be a social listening, like expand to a social listening tool in the future, or just like keep it niche and focused on like one community at a time type of thing?
The way our sort of direction is, we're sort of flexible in the way that if we're hearing that people want that, it's something we'll look into the feasibility of doing. Mm-hmm. But it's also a case of if we spread ourselves too thin, because there is social listening tools and there's community tools, but definitely something we could look into in the future.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's definitely something I'm looking for right now. But yeah, this looks interesting. I'm gonna check this out. I'll mess around with it.
What I'd also say is I'd like to apologize for the absolute disaster at the start. I always mute Discord because I hate the pinging, and I've realized I've never unmuted it after that.
Oh man, well, it's all good though. It was a good presentation. Thank you for sharing.
Hi, Adam. I have a question. So I'm wondering. So you can track. Can you track like people not in your network on the server or in the social media platform, or it has to be like your connection only?
It would have to be someone like, say, that joins your Discord or is a follower of your Twitter.
So basically, the way you track is creating a keyword or hashtag. So people needs to be use that hashtag or keyword in order to be tracked, right?
So, like, if someone adds your company on Twitter, they can pick that up because you are notified that they've added you.
I see.
So it's just sort of pulling that data.
Because I'm just thinking about when we have a Twitter space. There's no way for us to track, people attending Twitter Space. It would be great to have such feature that we can have Twitter only provides a number of people attending our Twitter Space, but it doesn't provide anything else. So that's sort of
What I'd say in general for that is we've worked on like Twitter Spaces to try get them to work. The API for Twitter does not want you to have that information. They make it pretty unfeasible to work with. So we the main event integrations we work with are sort of Eventbrite, your generic sort of event platforms. And we also interact with Discord events. But Twitter Spaces, just due to their API, is pretty unfeasible for us to work with. For our engineering team, at least.
Got it. Thanks. Also, so in order to check the insights for all the keywords, basically the user need to log into your platform, right?
No. So in terms of like, say, we have the content feature, you set a keyword as Education Guild or something. We're just a Discord bot within. Your community. So you would just add us as like an admin, and then it pulls the data from Discord directly, so that no user needs to sign in. We just go under as a sub processor of Bankless DAO.
I
Because
see.
the user has already, like, as I agreed for their information to go to Discord.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's something I think is very convenient. Thank you.
I've got a question around the Discord bot integration. You said there, add as admin. We're super wary of adding anybody or anything as admin.
I've heard some horror stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially with a Web3 community, because so many people have fallen for dodgy NFT links and dodgy DeFi projects where they link their wallet and all of a sudden get totally rugged. So, I mean, we have actually had that happen here, where one of our level 2 members had a webhook which was compromised, and then it's posted links on spam links on all the channels. And I think overall we lost, like, our members lost around 1 ETH worth of stuff, which isn't huge compared to some of the other channel big exploits out there, but it does happen. So, do you have any workarounds to avoid having to be admin, or what does that look like?
I myself wouldn't know offhand, but I can definitely get back to you on the feasibility of that, because it is an interesting point, because we have worked with people who have had the same sort of webhook thing actually happen to their Discord. So only their founder had admin access. So that is something we're like aware of. I can get back to you on that actually, because I can see why that would be a definite concern if it's happened in the past as well.
Yeah, I think it would probably be a non-starter for many communities, not just our own. So that could certainly, if you were able to solve that, it could open up some possibilities for you.
Yeah, and I think it should realistically be easy enough. But I don't want to speak too soon for the team. But definitely something I can check out and get back to you on. In terms of, and sorry, I should let you know, there is a cost to the tool. And I would love to hear your opinions in general of like how bad or good it may sound. We charge a platform fee of $300 a month on an annual plan and $350 on a monthly plan. Just wanted to hear if that sounded terrible or meh.
I mean, my experience is actually that most of these metrics don't actually give a very accurate description of actual activity, at least from my experience in this DAO. I'd prefer something that actually integrated and pulled analytics from Web3 platforms instead of Web2 platforms. But
Yeah, so actually, I was wondering how much we paid for the work. Your community, does anyone know? I think it's maybe comparable as a reference.
0.
Yeah.
They pay nothing.
I know some guilds already using the work.
They pay nothing for D-Work. There's no costs. But it's not an analytics platform.
Because we have had someone use D-Work before, so we looked into integrating with them.
Yeah.
Just trying to think. So you would be looking for more sort of on-chain data rather, as opposed to what you have in the sort of traditional Web2 sort of stuff.
No, most of our activity is not on chain. Most of our activity is not on chain, and so posting in Twitter, like Marketing Guild might find a lot of these analytics helpful because we do use a lot of Web2 platforms and stuff. But like the most ridiculous thing I hear is like, oh, there's like 50,000 people in the Bankless DAO Discord. Look how big we are. But there's barely 300 active contributors every month, and most of those people are part-time. So it's very misleading when you start looking at these analytics and you're like, oh, look at all these people coming into Discord. Look at all these people, just saying great.
To that point, I think, because like there are channels which are specifically not meant for like low value. Like say it is the example of having a GM channel as opposed to like a content creation channel. This is where I think you might get the sort of better analytics you're looking for and sort of filter out, because I know the whole thing, someone's just spamming irrelevant since it's not an active user.
Yeah, I mean, even look at
I
like
think
tweets, you know, like we got tons of Twitter followers, but if you were to go through all the tweets and stuff, like, I mean, it just costs money to get Twitter followers.
that's true.
So I'm just super skeptical of Web2 analytics in general, and I just don't find them that useful in Web3 as far as measuring activity, you know, membership
Yeah.
activity. Like it shows activity on that platform, but you're really just showing how much you work for Twitter. You're not really showing how active you are as, you know. But this is the first time I've ever seen this
and I
much
think
analytics in one place. So I definitely think there's space for it, you know, from like admins and marketing groups. I'm waiting for, you know, I can't hardly get any analytics from Web3 platforms because they're just different and they're based on wallets. So like, you know, you're not going to have an organizational Twitter in the future. You're going to have 100 members that are all social media influencers talking about your organization. And so how do you pull analytics in Web3 from 100 wallets instead of one Twitter account?
No, that's a fair point, actually. So in terms of just, would it be something, do you think, that would be interesting to try out? I'm not going to say it's going to be 100% a blessing.
I think it would be super interesting for Marketing Guild, right? Because in Marketing Guild, we sell advertising space based on these type of metrics, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely think there's space for it. And then a place like Marketing Guild has a budget. And, you know, some of us are in Marketing Guild, but I don't know that any of us, you know, are kind of, you know, we're still trying to figure out like what it's worth, you know, to market through Bankless DAO. So with a lot of client relationships, I could see this being super helpful, actually.
What I would say is, just because I think the 300 definitely sounds a bit daunting if you're not sure of what value you're going to get from it straight away. What I would say is, we are a startup. So in terms of that number, there is flexibility. I'm not the person to say how much flexibility. There's definitely a lot of flexibility.
Was that
in terms of like,
was that 300 a month, or what was the
300 a month? Yeah. On the annual, that'd be a 12-month.
Yeah.
There is a few workarounds to lower that. So there's like, if you can refer us to another company you think this might be useful for, sort of thing, you know, there'll be a certain percentage knocked off. But I'm just thinking, if like, obviously probably would need to go further with the Marketing Guild and see what, like, how it would work within their budget, which is understandable. But if the main blocker, they're like saying, like, because we are able to give like a 14-day trial just for you to like play around with it, get a feel of what kind of things you can do with it and get value from. But if price was a blocker at 300 per month, we could definitely work around that.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree with what Ernest said. Marketing probably need more this type of product, because they constantly do the promoting stuff through different media, and they need those data.
Yeah, because I mean, I do agree, the whole idea that you can say there's 50,000 in a Discord when realistically it could be a ghost town.
I do have a question.
So I think definitely it could be something to explore with Marketing Guild. In terms of like, if you were to start like a trial where you sort of play around with it, how many people would be involved?
Yeah,
Is there like,
I think we'd have to kind of like do a demo with Marketing Guild to kind of figure that out. But like one thing I'm thinking of is, so the DAO could use analytics, but is there a way? So we have media nodes within our DAO. So Crypto Sapiens might be a media node that's developed enough to be interested, to be able to pay for some analytics. Would they be able to set up like a sub account or keep track of their own analytics within the Bankless DAO account? Or is would a Bankless DAO account, essentially just have one, you know, one makeup of
the
analytics?
Crypto Sapiens would have, they're within this Discord, they're not have a separate one themselves.
Both, actually. I think
Oh.
they're actually a group that does have their own Discord. They also have space in this Discord, but some of the other media nodes actually might be more open to bringing in a bot into their Discords as well.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if there's like a sub account ability so that, different media nodes within Bankless DAO could structure their own analytics dashboards within the Bankless DAO account, or would they have to have their own kind of separate account?
I don't think they would need their separate account. I'm just trying to figure this out in my head, actually, how it would work. I don't see a reason why, let's say, you can segment the user base that are active within a channel or set of channels. So you would be able to just maybe create a segment of each. So you would have a Crypto Sapien segment, and you can view the analytics there. And possibly you can also, you can filter out in insights as to how specific channels are working. So that might actually be possible.
Yeah, this would be something too that, I do know there's a testing group in the Research Guild. So definitely be interesting to check out more and, try to get it tested.
Yeah. In terms of how do we figure that out, because as you've seen, I'm clearly no Discord wizard. I'm only 25 as well. You didn't think I should be this bad at technology. So would I?
Yeah, I don't know if.
So if I.
I think essentially we should just try maybe setting up a demo maybe with, specifically around the Marketing Guild's availability, maybe.
That works for me.
I don't know. And if Thinker,
but yeah.
and if Thinker was kind of the person that brought you in here, I'm not sure if.
Yeah. If you wouldn't mind acting as point of contact on this one.
Yeah, sure. No, I deal with Marketing Guild quite often through other DAOlationships campaigns. So I can help steward that as well and see if there's some interest and set up another demo with marketing for sure.
Yeah, I was thinking like Mr. V or one of the folks in like the campaigns and projects, their area, are essentially the ones that like kind of look at that data. Also, wasn't there a marketing consulting group at one time? I haven't heard much about that, but business Bankless Consulting is the one that kind of sets up a lot of the client marketing or whatnot. So I'm not sure exactly who would be don't want to don't want to like do a rabbit trail of 3 or 4 demos to try to get to where we need to be. But definitely, it seems like the bankless consulting or the marketing consulting group seem to be the more relying on this data.
Sounds good to me. And I can pretty much work around any hours. I think a lot of you might be US based. I can go later if it needs to be, like, in terms of time. So I'll just set this up through NF Thinker, and fingers crossed we can get something set up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, by the way, guys, because this was bad from my end.
No, this is perfect.
Never been so stressed.
This is what the demos are for. This is what makes a demo. And yeah, if you need help, NF Thinker, I can help communicate with Marketing Guild. We can also maybe use this as an opportunity to upskill one of our other marketing and DAOLationship Guild members. Might be a real easy kind of thing for them to help facilitate.
Well, I've taken up enough of your lads' time with technical errors and stuttering and stammering. I'll get in touch with NF Thinker, and thank you guys so much for your time. And fingers crossed, any second demo will be much, much cleaner.
Yeah, no problem, Adam. Thanks a lot for coming.
All right. Have a nice one, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot. This is how we learn together.
That's pretty much it for that one. Just goes to show that maybe we need some sort of intro to demos beforehand. Not everybody is as adept at Discord as we would hope. But yeah, hope everybody enjoyed that. Ernest and I will follow over the Marketing Guild, Mr. V, Ornella, Internationalist Capitalist, and the rest of the crew, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, some of the international media nodes actually have their own Discords too. So it would be interesting to talk with Ornella to see if she's heard about, I know Bankless Brazil is doing enough in media to warrant, some analytics.
Hey guys, so I have a thought about if we could move the AMA, not the demo, to the general channels in our community, so we can get more people to participate. Because right now, for everyone join the meeting, they need to wear the DAOLationship tags. It's a sort of reduce the amount of people join the demo.
Yeah, no, we can.
I agree with that. Oh, sorry to cut you off there, Ernest. Yeah, I was going to say I agree with that, CryptoDad. This is one of the things that we've actually talked about before, and there has been some pushback on it. People wanted to keep them DAOLationship specific, but I really feel like the demos should take place in either workshop or one of those other channels that are publicly visible. Try and increase our viewership.
Also, for us to, we can do more to make it a product, right? Just like our AMA, with the demo and then plus the Q&A session, and then plus the maybe record, we can provide just like AMA, a paid service for, other community come to our community to do this.
Actually, Ernest talked about setting up a juice box for these sorts of things. So maybe we could make these demos more of a donation, and then keep them more low key. Get people involved within the server. One of the things that we want to try and avoid is shilling products to the server within the server. When we're doing something on Twitter, it's more externally facing. We're bringing in people who are not necessarily part of the Bankless DAO server and not necessarily part of our community. So having that as a paid service makes a lot of sense. Whereas if we're then turning around and shilling a product here within the DAO, that could be problematic. Maybe if we set some numbers around the actual work being done and said, okay, like this is the most basic amount that it's going to cost to run this work stream. And so as soon as you cover that amount, then by all means, go ahead with your demo. But yeah, if we could maybe explore that donation method that Ernest was setting up, that might be interesting as well.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm thinking, even for this demo, still there's people need to put down time to organize, right? Post in other channels to promote this demo. It just feel like for people making efforts, it probably should be paid. If there's a for the DAOLationships Guild as a whole, we provide values. I don't know if probably we should be paid too.
Yeah, so essentially, right, the demo work stream is, or the salmon needs a job work stream, we're trying to figure out what that is. And we're trying to figure out how much time it takes to do the things in the work stream. And then once we have like a good estimate of the work involved in doing demos, then next season, right, like we can budget for it. This season, we're probably gonna, once we figure out how much work it takes and where we want to do the work and how we want to promote it, then we'll have a proposal at the end of the season that's kind of like retroactive funding for the work involved. But we're very much in that stage where we're trying to figure out like what work does it entail, and that way we can get other people trained in doing the work. And so I fully expect there to be more discussions like we're having today, and we'll have to figure out what channel do we want to be in, how do we want to promote it, some branding stuff. But right now we're just at the beginning stages of figuring out like how much technical work is involved.
Makes sense.
Yep. So yeah, if you are interested in creating a brand for the demos, creating templates for some of the copy, all this stuff, we just want people to kind of step up and volunteer to do. And then, we'll kind of talk about how much work that takes, present it to the guild, then discuss funding for the work this season. And then hopefully next season, kind of like the AMAs, we have a very well-defined product. It's still a little, I don't want to say unprofessional, but like, there's lots of room for errors, in the demos. They're very much a talent development kind of work stream, which I think works out great for a donation platform. But all of these are things that we need members to kind of develop. It'll, Salmon and I are kind of working on it, but we're also kind of doing the work. And so it's just taking a little time. And then the good thing about Juicebox campaigns too is we can do revenue share agreements with the Juicebox campaigns. So if we, raise funds, there is some funds coming in. If we don't, at least the people doing the work, know the potential. you know, and then we can just improve marketing or improve branding and messaging and all that jazz. You know, because like, you know, the AV work for these things, you know, we could just do a revenue share with the AV Guild, you know, and then we have time slots, and then we could be like, okay, you know, if you're from AV Guild, we trust you have the, you know, the basic talent that you need. You know, here's how you sign up to do the AV work for this particular thing. And, you know, we can just give people revenue share agreements. So there's lots of opportunity here to figure this stream out and have it be, you know, slightly different than the AMAs, and a good learning opportunity for folks.
Great. Okay. Well, it's wonderful to talk about some of these things and push them forward and iterate and try and make them a little bit better, and also try and get some compensation for the people actually doing the work. This is a useful tool, I believe, for the DAO. It's a useful tool for onboarding people to Web3 and furthering Web3 initiatives. So, yeah, let's keep it up. I love what we're doing here, everybody. I'm going to drop now because I got a little bit of time before my next meeting and need to do a couple of things in preparation for that. So thanks everyone again for coming to this demo. If any of you are in contact with anybody who might have a product and they want to run a demo, or if you're part of a team and you want to run a demo, just post in the DAOLationships channel and we'll follow up and get you all set up. Thank you very much and see you at the next one.
Yep, and if you're a new person and you would like to set up this demo with Ahoy Connect and Marketing Guild, yeah, I would suggest, you know, speaking up in the general chat. This would be a very easy, I think, task for somebody to pick up and learn from, and it's going to need done, you know, over and over again in the future. And anybody that wants a demo is going to, you know, have to learn how to set up a demo and, you know, schedule the people and do that kind of outreach. So yeah, if you're a new person looking for a way to get involved and you're already involved with Marketing Guild, this would be a great way to step up and pick up some work.
All right, see you at the next one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you, everyone.
The terms, and then we can link to that signature in the